Well, welcome to Wednesday's night's Cardiff City phone-in on GGFM 106.9. Well, what a night for Cardiff. After the disappointing performance on the weekend, the Bluebirds soared as they beat Stoke 3-1 and put in a top-draw performance to boot. Cameron, Jerome and Thorne got on the score sheet, but every player left the pitch, the Britannia Stadium, with accolades ringing in their ears. And with the Gillingham and Forest game, With Gillingham and Forest drawing, Cardiff moved out to the heady heights of 17th. Get a nosebleed up there, won't you, Keith?
Forest are playing tonight, by the way. But anyway,
it's a massive game.
Talking about last night. Lots of questions needed to be answered before the game.
You actually went there, didn't you?
Yeah, I was there. I watched the game. Yeah, could we produce better quality than we produced last Saturday? Would the centre of midfield function efficiently, effectively, whatever word you want to use? Could we get enough quality ball to McAnuff because he was okay Saturday? Could Adley play in a more forward position because he virtually was a defending player last Saturday? Could the partnership work together up front and score goals? And could the fullbacks get beyond their respective, players in front of them, McAnuff and Adley, and certainly Barker did? You have to say, and I am not underemphasising this, it was absolutely top draw performance. And I tell you what, it made me feel proud to be a Welshman, to be a Cardiff City supporter, to come away from there and think, like I come home last night, my wife said to me, she says, I want you to make love to me. This is 2 o'clock in the morning. And I tell you what, I could not. Because I was still thinking about Cardiff City. It was that good. It really was that good. Like, we bossed the first 35 minutes, right? We've gone one up. Lovely ball. Cameron Jerome, like he was Saturday, just before half time, through on goals. Left peg, is he going to stick it wide? Is he going to have the bottle to finish the job? Just dink it over the goalkeeper. Thank you very much. Lovely finish. But we bossed it in midfield, we worked hard.
Did we get the ball down? Because you were complaining.
Yeah, we got it down. Saturday, I didn't enjoy it Saturday at all. I didn't enjoy it. It wasn't a good game to watch. Good point for us because they haven't lost since January 22nd. I keep saying that. But last night you thought, can they go out and produce a better brand of football? And they certainly did.
Do they need to go out and produce a better brand of football?
Well, no, what they need is results. I can't argue with that. But if you can get both, my God alive. But by producing that better brand of football, it was scintillating to watch on occasion.
Yeah.
And it's best emphasised by the second goal. We've gone one up. And they get a free kick. They're only going to score from a set piece. I timed it once, 7 minutes. I was doing commentary with Richard Shepherd on the internet. 7 minutes for him to get an hour and a half.
Yeah.
At one occasion, we were that much on top, But then I said to Shep, I said on air to the listeners, the only way they're going to score yet is off a set piece. If they force a set, of course they get a free kick and he heads the ball.
It goes in.
They work a free kick and it goes through the wall. Neil had no chance. Bottom corner, lovely shot. In all fairness, lovely finish. Then of course, tails up, crowd back up because the crowd were at them because of what happened last Saturday as well.
Yeah.
And the crowd are bubbling again then, and the ball comes across. It from deep on the right, and Tony Vidmar's going to head it clear, slips, doesn't he? And the fella goes, I'll have a bit of this, and he hits a post.
Oh, you're thinking to yourself,
I'm thinking, what's going on? I thought, better luck. Leeds United the other way, at home. Remember that? And then, half time, I thought, and I was saying to people, and they were all saying, how was it only 1-0? How was it only 1-1? And then we come out second half, they're in the ascendancy again for 5 minutes, they cross a ball, and the big fella, Jones, he gets up, black fella heads it, right? Oh, he misses, I'll never know. It was a great cross, mind, in all fairness, and he gets up and he heads it wide, and you think, another bit of luck.
And you start thinking it's going to be your night then,
yeah, of course. And then we get the grip again, midfield do well, the two in midfield, Ledley and Langley do really well, the boys at the back, Vidmar was a bit iffy, but, he did okay, right? But at the end of the day then, second goal, if I was Arsenal, if I was Manchester United, if I was Liverpool, I tell you what, it would be show and show to go. Ball goes in, I would defend in left back position. Ledley races there like the greyhound he is, wins the ball, turns, hooks it to McAnuff. He steps inside the fella on the left hand side of the field, right? Comes up, rolls it to Peter Thorne, who's just about in the halfway line. Thorne he turns, gets a shout obviously, turns, runs forward. Jerome's come outside his marker, he's cutting in towards. He's about 10 yards outside the penalty. He rolls a lovely ball through Thorne. You think, what's going to happen here now? Is he going to score with his other foot, or does he outpaces him easily and finish? I tell you what, it was a fantastic goal.
Total football.
Oh, it was total football. Yeah, so we're in the ascendancy again there, and of course, McAnuff's running riot. Ardley's fantastic on the other side, working up and down, cleared a ball in the last 5 minutes. I noticed from inside his own 6-yard box. That's pretty good for a right-sided midfield player, isn't it? You know, and you think to yourself, you know, what a good night for us. What a good. All right, we could have gone 2-1 down, but you know, we could have been 4 or 5 up as well. With the brand of football, it was lovely to watch, and we had a result.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it was great. It was that good. And like I said to you, I come home, I was no good to missus. You know, I was just still thinking about the football.
Well, exactly. Talking about Cameron Jerome, he's a young lad, obviously, and there's a lot of pressure on his shoulders.
Yeah.
But how do you think he? Can you rate him next to sort of Earnshaw, or is he a completely different player?
Oh, yeah, I think he's a different type to Rob. Like, he runs at people. He terrifies defenders.
Yeah.
You know, because
Big and strong,
he's physical as well, but he's got pace. You know, the one thing. And it's very much a la Robert Earnshaw. You know, Robert, we all love Robert, don't we? He scored goals at every level. But the one thing that Cameron, and Wilco said that as well, he has to work on his touch a bit, right? You know, but believe me, he's going to be a player. He's not bad now, but he is going to be some footballer. And he's been taught obviously by Peter as well. You know, it's good. I think we better do this question, because I'm going to go on about this all night. Hey, Nick Stocks, if you're listening, you won 2 tickets on Monday. We can't get hold of you. We need your number, son.
Hi Keith, thanks for joining us. Just fresh from doing the Cardiff City phone-in. I sat in on it, I enjoyed the show as well. Obviously we were going to interview you before, but unfortunately, we did interview you, but it didn't come out that way because we had a problem with the microphone. We've got a new mic now, so let's hope everything goes fine. Keith, I want to talk to you about your career. When it started. When did it actually start?
Well, I played for Cardiff City, got released out of injuries and whatever. Got released, I was there at the same time as Toshak and Greg Farrell and all those boys. And then took up refereeing in 1969, the year I got married, had to get out the OC. Starting in Pontypridd District League, and then went through the South Wales Amateur League, Welsh League, and then through the Football League. And I got on the Football League line in 4 years. If you had anything about you, you could do it in those days, you know. And you wouldn't get that in 4 years now.
So when you obviously built your way up, was it professional then? Did you turn professional?
No, it was like professional because I used to train every day. And
so you've always had an interest in becoming a referee through starting off as becoming as playing as a player for Cardiff City.
Yeah, I just wanted to be involved in the game. And Jerry Quartley, who ran the local YMCA, he said, when you have a go at refereeing, when I finished playing because of injuries and whatever, and I said, okay, I'll have a go. And I started doing junior games and enjoyed it, and then carried on from there.
How did you feel when injury took you away from what you really wanted to do?
I was devastated when I got released by Cardiff City. It felt like jumping under the train. It was that bad. Like,
is that why you've helped Scott so much? Because when he was released, obviously you sat on his committee there for his testimonial and everything.
He's a nice fellow as well, isn't he? You know, at the end of the day, he's just an absolute gem, and Scott, he'd do anything for anybody, you know, and everybody should have helped out as best they can. They did, in all fairness, you know, but it was devastating for him, mind you. Like he's a bit of a legend at Cardiff City, isn't he? You know, Leeds United and all that, you know, and anything you can do for nice people, then you should anyway, shouldn't you?
Absolutely. So, I mean, I know Scott as well, same as you, and he seems to be a lot happier in himself now, mind doing what he's doing.
Yeah, he enjoys it. You know, he's got a lot to give, hasn't he? You know, those pictures of Leeds United will always be there forever. So he can always refer to that when he's speaking to the kids, and they can always say, "Well, he's done it," and he's got a lot to pass on, isn't he? And he was telling me because my grandson goes up there, and he was telling me that he's got a 6 or 7-year-old kid there, you know. I think it's Gary Shepherd's boy, you know. He's absolutely fantastic. He's probably the best he's ever seen. Like, whether he'll go on to make it is another kettle of fish.
We talked, me and Scott talked about that when we done an interview with Scott, and I said to him, you know, is he enjoying himself doing what he's doing now? And he said it's absolutely brilliant to watch those kids come on the way they have. Coming back to yourself anyway, Keith, with your professional, as a professional playing for Cardiff City, how many games did you have for Cardiff City?
I only played, I was only an apprentice. I never got took on as a pro, you see, but you know, so with the injuries and whatever.
What injury kept you away?
Injuries and because we didn't wear pads then, so I got kicked to death. No, we didn't. You know, you didn't. It wasn't compulsory that. You know, full year, didn't do it, and let's put cards on the table. I probably wouldn't have been good enough anyway. You know, I probably wouldn't have. I'd have been floating around at the bottom division. Let's be fair about it. And you know, as a referee, you know, I went on to better things, didn't I?
Can you, you know, I'm talking about as a referee, you know, can you remember the first game you refed for example? Not ref in the stadium.
Just local league. It would be something to do with Pontypridd. Are you talking about football league?
Yeah, league.
The first game I ever involved in was Hereford and Port Vale, and I was on the line. And we were always told if you had the flag in your left hand, I was always told that you change the flag to your right hand. And I changed hands like that, went like that, and the flag. My first game, the flag went up the touchline, and I'm there holding my hand out like that, and everybody's going, "Hey, fantastic!" Yeah. And I feel a right, yeah.
So you can obviously remember that.
Oh.
Brings me on to the next question. Really, I mean, the highlight of your career. There must be something that really stands out.
Cup final at Wembley.
That's what it is. Yeah. Tell me a bit about that.
It was, you start as a referee in a local league, and in February 1994, I had a phone call of I spoken to Alan Gunn, who was a football league referee then. He said, "You'll have the League Cup final." I said, "Nah." He said, "Oh, you will." I said, "Oh, will I have that then?" He said, "Because you're number one in England and Wales." I said, "Right." He said, "All you got to do is keep your head down and whatever, and true to form." John Goggins rang me 3 weeks later, and he said, "What are you doing on whatever date it was in April?" He said, "We'd like you to referee the League Cup final between Aston Villa and Manchester United." And I thought, yeah, great, fantastic.
What was the score?
It was 3-1 to Aston Villa, and unfortunately you pray that everything goes well for you. And unfortunately I had to send a Manchester United player off in the last minute. And then got invited to Man United Supporters Club to make a presentation a month later.
So it didn't go down very well.
And I went, and my wife.
Fair play.
Yeah, we went. We walked in the room, South Wales branch it was. And I walked in the room, walked up the stairs, and they all chanting Man United songs. I walked in. Woof. Absolute silence. And I
So you dictated respect those days then?
What they were calling me.
It brings you on to the next question. No, you can tell us if you want. I don't mind. Right. Has football always been your number one sport?
Yeah, I love football. I love athletics as well, mine. I just think you're on your own in athletics. People say you aren't swimming and things like that, but with athletics, I just think you're on your todd. You're out there on the track. And I remember speaking to Christian Malcolm, and who's related to Nathan Blake, who I get on very well with, as you know. And I said to him, "What did you feel like, in the final of the World Championships, 200 metres, when you're getting down any blocks?" He said, "How did you feel when you were in that tunnel coming out of Wembley?" I said, I felt like going home." And he said, and I did, because it is frightening. You think, what am I doing here?
I felt like when you asked me a question on the show tonight.
No, you do. You think to yourself, well, you're there, and you're proud to be there, and you've been selected, and you think to yourself, hang on a minute, it's going to be. It was on ITV Live, so on terrestrial television. How many hundreds of millions are going to be watching this worldwide? And you think, this is the place to cock it up if you're going to cock it up.
To be honest, if you start thinking like that, that's when things do go wrong, isn't it?
Well, we had the thing as well with Fergie and Ron Atkinson, and they were in the tunnel. And I'm blowing the whistle. The linesmen are gone and told them to come out and one is looking to see if the other one's out, and they're playing cat and mouse with each other, and you think, oh, what a load of bollocks this is. Come on, coming out. But it's good with the League Cup final because it's different to the FA Cup. If you watch the League Cup final, the referee always comes out in front. In the FA Cup final, the referee's always last.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
When you come up that tunnel, the sun was shining, and you come out onto that pitch, and it's everything you want. You just hope the game goes well, and it did for 89 minutes.
Yeah.
And then you had to do something about it.
What was the lowest point of your career, Keith?
The lowest point was they used to have what they call a supplementary list, where you're on the line and they give you 6 games to prove yourself as a referee, and you have 2 years to do it, and the clubs mark you, and they know they got you by the bollocks. They know that if you give a penalty against them, and I knew that they'd mark you down because it wasn't honest and truthful. That's why they have assessors now. And I got. After 1 year, they disbanded the supplementary list thing, and I had to go back on the line. And you think, whatever, But it was a hard ground when I got back on, and the other disappointment was that when they're going to put you on the middle, they take you for an interview. And there was 14 of us went up to London, and on this committee was Matt Busby. Matt Busby, obviously you've heard of him. Dick Ragg, who was chairman of Sheffield United. And Bob Lord was introducing all these people, and he said, this is Mr. Needham, chairman of Hull City. This is Sir Matt Busby. Oh, he wasn't then. So Mr. Matt Busby, chairman of Manchester United. This is, he wasn't chairman, he was manager, ex-manager. And he said, this is, and he said, Bob Lord, and I'm a bastard. And he was a bastard. He put me through it. And there was 14 of us up there, and they took 12. And I was one of the 2 who didn't get on. And I opened that letter, and you could cry.
Yeah. Have you met him since?
He died because the year after I went back up for another interview because you had to finish top in the Welsh League. And I went up, and he wasn't there. And I managed to get on. Got on the list. And then it's like trying to establish yourself then, trying to, and it was tough.
Massive achievement though, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, it was. It's fantastic to get there, but then you have to try to establish yourself, and you're anxious and nervous, and you think to yourself, and you overreact in situations, but it.
Do you think that being a ref?
For 2 years, right?
Yeah, why was that?
Because my marks were poor, because I was struggling, really struggling big time, and they sent Football League were very good. They sent a fellow called Gordon Harry from Newport to come and watch me and help me. And they put me right.
A lot of people don't know this.
Him and my missus put me right, because she came and she said, she told me what I was doing wrong. It was my man management skills, how I was treating people and whatever. Right. And I put that right, and off it went.
Off you went again.
Off it went.
I'm just going to ask you a couple of questions then. I'll ask you one in particular question. It comes to mind. Cardiff City obviously left Cardiff City, went on to become a referee. Did you have the opportunity to referee Cardiff City again?
I did all the local derbies: Liverpool, Everton, Man United, Man City, Sheffield United, Sheffield Wednesday twice, Bristol City, Bristol Rovers. All them. No, all the big. They were all big. Huge game in London, local derby. The supporters will understand, like yourself and Simon. Yeah. Huge game called Millwall at the Old Den in West Ham. World War III took off there. That's another story. Yeah. But the toughest one of all was the FA Cup on a Sunday afternoon between Swansea City and Cardiff City, when World War III was happening in the stands. Yeah. I mean World War III. I tossed up, and Jason Perry was captain of Cardiff. I said, for Christ's sake, get your players to behave today and whatever. I can't remember as captain of Swansea. I know Jimmy Gilligan scored the winner because Cardiff lost 2-1. But I had 2 linesmen that day. You don't want me saying about this, do you? I had 2 linesmen that day. Cardiff supporters will be, I'm sure, interested in this. And where the North Bank met the Cardiff City supporters behind the goals, like if you were running the line there, you were going to get some shit, weren't you? You were going to get it. It's like 20 times worse than being in front of block A and B down the city, right? Yeah. So I had these 2 linesmen, and one of them, I won't tell you their names, right? One of them was he's a bit big time, right? And he was the one who was going to be over there, right? But I thought, and I watched him before the game, and his hands were like that. I thought he's shitting bricks here, right? This was an hour and a half before the game. And the other linesman, right, was salt of the earth. Oh, you going by? It's all right, fantastic, lovely lad, right? Okay. And I said to the linesman who was not so full of it, I said, do us a favour today, man. He said, what's that, Coops? I said, we'll go over the far side where the North Bank meets the Cardiff City supporters and whatever. No fucking problem. I'll go over there for you. No trouble at all, right? Right? So he said, sorry about that. So I said to the other linesman, I had to make up a story now, didn't I? I said, do me a favour. I said, I know when you're supposed to be over there. I said, I'm trying something different today, right? He wouldn't come to the dugout and say, yeah, I'll do that. He was away from the trouble now, wasn't he, right? So he comes in, where's the first fight? In the main stand behind his linesman now, right? So anyway, the half time comes now. Can you get it? The half time comes now, and the linesman run to the referee, right? So all of a sudden, this linesman now was over by the North Bank where he met the Cardiff City supporters. Oh, by the way, they busted 9 footballs, Cardiff City supporters that day. They were sticking whatever in the ball. Right?
So they were coming over.
Carcasses were coming back. There was 9 of them, right? So anyway, where they met, this linesman's coming towards me now, right? He's like this. I thought, they got him, didn't they? I said, you all right, Viv? Great, he said. So, what are you walking like? All these coins, see? Right? He picked up 2 pockets and he had them all on. He said, a few pints of these, he said. A few pints of these. Oh, what a day that was.
So you've got many a story to tell like that.
Yeah, wonderful. But it was I'll never forget that local derby. I remember you talk about the West Ham game, the Millwall West, like, you know, the boys have been in Millwall, you know what it's like, you know, in the West Ham lot. You can imagine that, can't you? And we get there, like, and they've had to open the bottom end because they're afraid of another Hillsborough. All these West Ham supporters are going at these, and they let him in for nothing because they were afraid it was all going to go off. Coppers, you know. So in they come down. So I'm tossing up, right? So Alvin Martin, you know Alvin Martin does talk sport, right? He's captain of West Ham. I said, Christ's sake today, Alvin. I said, look, I've got all these problems, like. I said, for Christ's sake, take it easy, won't you? Or whatever. Goops, I'll have a word with my lot. I said to Terry Ullock, who's like East End boy, right? Brick shit house, midfield, right? The boys will remember him, right? I said, you have a word with your boys, Terry. Tell them not to put it about being good. Fuck you, he said. He said, if they don't kick a few, I'll be kicking a few. And I thought, oh, bollocks, here we go again. I thought, all right.
On that remark now, I've got to ask you another question. Who's the dirtiest player that you've had to deal with in your
Wimbledon
time?
were different. Yeah, they were all different.
Was that under Sam Man's?
Yeah. I remember Sam taking an elephant on the pitch. You don't believe me, do you?
No, I can well believe it. I have heard about it actually.
Took an elephant on the pitch at Selhurst Park when Wimbledon played there. Elephant shit everywhere, right? And I'm going out to play a football match. That's true. Took an elephant on the pitch. Like, I thought, what is going on here? But they were different class. Like, I remember going to Wimbledon, like, and they were playing at Selhurst Park. And at Selhurst Park, where you come out the referee's room, the home team dressing room is there, but it's recessed back, so you can't see the players. But the door's always, you've got this jungle music and boom, 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 all this coming out. I thought, what is this? And the away team were always at the end of the corridor, and it was Bolton that had promotion. Right, and they were up the corridor up there, right? Okay, and you could hear this music coming out, right? So I've rung the bell to get the teams out, right? So you can hear Alan Stubbs was captain of Bolton, and McAteer had just done well in the World Cup, right? The boy went to Liverpool, but he's playing for Bolton. It's the first game in the Premier League. So he's walking down, and all of a sudden you can hear this voice from across there. Fash, sharpen those elbows. We'll give him Stubbs. Where will it? And you can see these fellas coming down the corridor now, and they're absolutely shaking, like on the thing. And you can't nail anybody because you don't know who it is, do you? Right? And like the pressure they put on those Bolton players. Anyway, go out onto the pitch, right? So McAteer is showing now. He comes to show for a ball like that. Vinnie Jones has gone smack through the back of him. Down he's gone on the floor, right? Great advantage. It broke for a lovely advantage. I thought, I'll go with this and come back and nail him, right? So. Off you go. It breaks down eventually, about 40. I come back and I said, Jonesy, come here. What do you want? So McAteer is still getting up to his feet now, right? So I said to him, I says, what do I want? I said, look at the state of him. Fuck all wrong with him, he said. McAteer's like this now, right? So I said, nothing wrong, ask him. So he says to him, he says, nothing wrong with you, is there? So McAteer goes, no, I'm all right. I said, you little whatever, toe rag, right? Okay. Yeah, so I'm still booking him anyway. I don't, he goes, whatever. So as I go, I said to McAteer, Jonesy's off, right? I said to McAteer, you're up, right, weren't you? I said, thanks for backing me up and whatever. Sorry for you, he said. I got 89 fucking minutes to go with him. He said,
So you obviously met and you had to put up with Vinnie Jones on the field. Is he the one then?
No, they were all, the toughest one. And if you speak to people like Jason Perry and people like that, like they'll tell you that there was a fella who played in the lower divisions called Billy Whitehurst. But Scott Young will tell you a story where Billy Whitehurst was sorted out by a Cardiff City manager, and the manager was Billy Ayres. He was putting it about Billy Whitehurst because he could put it about. I never seen he sorted them all out. I mean all of them, right? And he had to go one youngster. I don't know who it was. And as he's coming off, right, Billy Ayres said to him, he says, "What did you do that for?" He said, "You." Billy Ayres said, "I'll be waiting for you outside." Went in the dressing room, Billy Ayres said to all the players, the Cardiff City players, "Don't change. Don't change." So he goes outside. Billy always wore shorts, didn't he? Yeah. Goes outside, stands by the bus. Right? I can't remember who Whitehurst was playing for. Scott will tell it. Right? He's standing by the bus. Right? Stood there for 45 minutes. Players couldn't change. Yeah. Right? Cardiff City players. Billy Whitehurst didn't come out to the bus.
Stay there.
Billy Ayres was one hard cookie.
Yeah.
Yeah, tough man.
So he's one of the toughest ones.
Oh yes, oh yeah. You got Fash was another one because Fash was black belt, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moving on, a couple more questions. I'm going to ask you about your family now, Keith. I know it's going on a bit, but
Right.
obviously your family have been with you all the way through. You've got two sons.
I've got
Both played football.
yeah,
One
great
one's
family.
still involved in football now. The other
My
one.
missus is the key to it all, man.
Yeah, do you want to tell me about it?
Yeah, she's the key to it all. You know, at the end of the day, it's the two boys have done well for themselves. You know, they both played a fair standard of football. Neil played in the League of Wales, my eldest son, for into Cardiff with George Wood, and for Cwmbran and teams like that, and Ebbw Vale. And Stephen went as an apprentice to Wrexham with Brian Flynn and Joey Jones and all those. Left me at 16, broke my heart. Yeah, well, you know, it does upset you. But he was in good hands up there with Joey and all those.
Do they say, you know, that some people say that, you know, like yourself, he was a good football player. Is it it gets passed down through generations?
Well, you just encourage them, don't you? You say, do you want to do it? You know, if they do want to do it, then you encourage them. They wanted to do it. Stephen now he played a few games in the first team. I think it was 2 or 3. He was released that year. There were 750 players released, and he now runs the School of Excellence at Wrexham and produces players for the first team and loves it. This week now they've been to Ipswich, took 60 kids to Ipswich. End of the year now they're going to play up in Rangers and Celtic, like, and it's great now. You know.
Is he coming over for next weekend?
Yeah, I'll be here Sunday. Yeah, I'll be going to the match on Sunday. Yeah.
You're going down as well?
No, I'm looking after my granddaughter. He's fetching her down. She's only 6 months old, so we're looking forward to that. So I'll watch it.
Do he come home much to see you? You know?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't come home a lot because he's all weekend, isn't he, with football? You know, he has to, and but we go up there quite regularly. Comes
So it's
down
a
when
good
he can.
weekend to look forward to then.
Ah, I love it.
Cardiff and Wigan first, isn't it?
My eldest son as well with his son Harry. You know, it's great. Like, and he goes up with Scott Young and Gary Wilmot up with the Ronda with the little ones. You know, yeah, so it's great. But the key to it was my missus. There's no doubt about it.
The Rock, is it?
Oh, she was. Yeah, and
She still is, man. Keith, I met her, you know.
pardon. What's going on here, son?
No, it's in all fairness, she's always been 100% behind you, and she enjoys football as well, and that makes a difference.
She used to come all the games with me. She used to come all the games with me, you know, and she'd be there and go to Arsenal on a Saturday, like, and she'd be on a Sunday morning up in Tylerstone or up in Ferndale or up in Penrith watching the kids, like.
I can ask you a question now, maybe a bit personal. It may have happened, it may not nothing to do with sex. One of the guys have asked me to ask this, okay? Have you ever taken a bribe?
No, but been offered loads of times when we go abroad. Lots.
Well, that's what I meant. Have you been offered one? Sorry, not have you taken one?
Loads of occasions been offered. You know, I could go into the stories. You know, but we would go on forever. And any referee that tells you he hasn't been offered bribes is a liar.
Yeah.
What you have to do is, and Roy Thomas was another referee from the Ronda, who was involved in that game that I'm particularly thinking of in Prague. You know, you have to be strong, don't you? You have to do what's right. You know, and the guy tried to bribe us in a way that that he thought was right. We give a free kick, a penalty against his home team. He came in half time, tamping. We physically threw the guy out of the dressing room. Roy had him by the bollocks, I had him by the neck. Out he went. Oh yeah. Happens all the time.
Do you think the game has changed now, Keith, to what to your days as a referee?
I'm concerned at the moment because I look at the big games, the powerful players now, aren't they? They get 50, 60, 70, 100,000 pound a week, and the big players now, aren't they? Even though we've got professional referees, and I just think the laws of the game are just superfluous now. I think we worked hard on the tackle from behind, so we could have people get away with kicking people from behind. The law says you should be booked for it. I don't want everybody caution effort, but we want to keep the game clean, and I see people in referees' faces all the time. I see people like Wayne Rooney, who's a super footballer, like swearing and effing and blinding at ref, and you think to yourself, hang on a minute, you've got to put a cap on all this, like, and we all swear, and we have sworn on the interview.
There's many a time that you've been you've watched the game and you thought, if I was on this field,
well, no, I don't ever say that. I don't ever say that, because at the end of the day, everybody referees the same. There's times when I've refereed and people have said, I still get a letter every year from a guy from Coventry who thinks I'm the biggest load of crap that ever. He still, and there's a game between Coventry and Leicester, where I got tucked up off the field, but that's another story. So I would never say I would do it. That's the wrong way to do it, or I would have been better than you, or worse than you, or whatever. Because every referee has the right to be an individual, doesn't they? You know?
When you refereed the derby, Cardiff City and Swansea,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
Being a Cardiff City fan,
Mm.
was it difficult?
Not really, not really. I've got to speak as I find. You know, it was. You go on there, you apply law, you try to be fair, you come off, and you hope every player shakes your hand and says, "Thank you very much. I've enjoyed the game." You know, and that happened in that game.
Awesome.
That happened in that game. People like Jason Perry and people like that were tough cookies.
Yeah.
You know, would let you know, if you were cocking it up, but they were. It was what was happening off the field was different.
Right, to move on. After football, enjoying your life after football now, Keith, obviously, still involved greatly with GTFM, Cardiff City.
I was up last night with Richard Shepherd doing a commentary on the Stoke game, you know, summarising, do all little things, you know, it's great. I get involved with the Supporters Club presentation, you know, we're doing a thing this Friday with, you know, with down in Cardiff as well. I enjoy it all. Yeah.
So you're going to continue doing what you're doing. As you said, GTFM will be there next season with a bit of luck as well.
We're hopeful GTFM. I think
it's gone really successful now, GTFM. There's a lot of people.
Service for people, you know. It's we talk Cardiff City primarily. Sometimes we talk about Wales. We always talk about the kids on a Monday. We try to talk about the women. You know, the ladies' teams. I mean by that, not women. That's the wrong word to say. No, you know what I mean. And we have a laugh. We praise the team when they're good. We get upset when things are not so good, but after all, it's Cardiff City, and it's always been a roller coaster, and it always will be a roller coaster.
It gives you an opportunity to meet some great characters, I imagine.
With
Cardiff City,
yeah.
Not just Cardiff City. I mean, your career as a whole.
Oh, without a doubt, you know, I'm still big friends with Kenny Dalglish. We speak every week. Alex Ferguson backed me for the job.
Saying we know where to come for interviews.
Fergie backed me for the job for when I was shortlisted to run the Premier League referees. 3 of us, Ellery, myself and Hackett. Hackett got it. You know, he didn't have to do it. Joe Royal backed me, you know, fair play. Yeah, so people, and they don't turn me down invariably, you know. We had interviewed here with Paul Jewell and Joe Royal on GTFM, you know. We were counting it the other day. And every player bar one, and he's coming on now before long, Peter. Yeah. You know, I've been on here. The manager's been on here. And the thing is, if you tuck them up, it goes on the dressing room, doesn't it? They're not going to come on, are they? It's not worth tucking them up, is it?
They know you're a wind-up merchant, though.
We have a bit of fun, didn't we? You know, we had Cav singing on here, didn't we? You know, we had Robert singing on here, didn't he? Like, he's, you know, but they're all nice people, you know. Invariably, players are nice, you know. And you think to yourself, like, over my career, the Sun, when I finished, said we wanted to do some stories for us in the paper, like, and we wanted to slaughter a few players, and I couldn't, like, because you think your career, like, and you think there's only 2 players I didn't like, and you know, and that's pretty good. Eric Cantona gave me his jersey when he finished, like, you know, and my last game at Blackburn, Ian Wright asked to swap jerseys, you know, and all that, like, you know, and you think yourself, I done alright there.
They tell me last night's game, Stoke cheered the team out. Is that right?
Cheered.
They clapped the team off the field. The Cardiff City team. Is that true?
They could do nothing else. Cardiff City were fantastic last night. Yeah, you know, and you know people need to know that Cardiff City were fantastic last night. And if you could get a video of that second goal, I'd keep on about it, right till the cows come home.
I did see those guys.
Yeah, fantastic. Right from its inception, right in the far corner. You know.
As you said, it's been a roller coaster season, but I honestly I felt personally throughout the season that we're going to be still there at the end of the season, you know, right. In the same division.
I hope you're right. It's given me a lot of, it's given me a big lift last night. Give me a big lift last Saturday, although I thought the standard, the quality was poor last Saturday. They still haven't lost at home.
But we've never been really that bad. You know, it's just the finishing we've been on the problem with. Really,
well, you think of the Crew game at home, you know, we 22 chances, we didn't finish them off, you know, and, you know, we just hope that we can get through this season and see what the summer brings, because that again is going to be another roller coaster.
There's 2 people in particular there that we are really looking to keep in.
Well, everybody stays, aren't we? But, you know, we have our doubts. Everybody has an opinion. Only people at the football club know, really, don't they?
Keith, I've enjoyed the interview, mate. And on a final note, how do you think we're gonna stand at the end of the season?
I think it gave me a lot of heart last night. It really gave me a lot of heart. We're still in a mix of mine.
What about Saturday?
I think we'll draw.
Draw, is it?
I think it's going to be difficult till the end of the season, because they're all fighting now, aren't they? But on 2 different games, Plymouth and There were two different games. We found we could scrap in one, and we found we could play football better than the other team in the other. So it gives us a little bit of a chance, doesn't it? That we can alternate as needs be. Thank you very
We'll
much.
stay up. Thanks, Keith. Cheers. That was an interview with Keith there. We've been chasing him for a while. Finally caught up with an absolutely brilliant interview, and we all enjoyed that one. Thanks.